Professor Melly Mel, Gangster, City, Hood, Click. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. Lock the door on him. Lock the door on him. Hood postman. Hood postman. Reporting live. Reporting live. This the hood postman, come and check the program. You ain't from the streets, this is something you should know, man. Running from police, gotta grip the wheel with both hands. Speeding down the interstate, please do not approach him. 40s in the fridge, got the caddy in the driveway. Get all out of my face, I don't wanna violate. Looked up in the mirror and I told myself, why wait? We took this shit worldwide, you only in 5 states. Came from the 4 corners with my 4 quarters. Showed them the style, then they stole on us. Times got wild, then they told on us. Dog, it was hard, but we had to keep it rolling. You ain't gotta ask, you know where to find me. I be in the back streets where it get grimy. It's just me and Mel, Rennie looking bride D. I be going hard till I'm in the 5 C's. Know the vibes. I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides, I ain't never had to tell a lie. Let's ride. Know the vibes. I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides, I ain't never told them no lie. Let's ride. Hood postman. 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 Hood postman.
Postman. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. Shout out, shout out, shout out to everybody that's joining us for this amazing, amazing YouTube show. Shout out to you, Mike Marks. I see you right there. Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. And drop a comment down below. So when this dope content hits, it's going to feel like it's the 1st and the 15th. Man, this is not a glorification, nor is it a glamorization. It's always an education, man. So come in and take a look at your mind and see, examine what's in your heart. Before they had handguns, they had bare ones. Man up. You can go anywhere in the world to get a couple of lies, but you come right here to get the truth. And I appreciate you, each and every last one of you. Gangster in his most critical hour. Matter of fact, let me give it the wisdom. Respect, loyalty, hustle hard, stay true, and never, never forget your roots. Those things right there. Take those things to heart, hold them dear to you, close to your chest, and run with it. Yesterday, Gangster in his most critical hour of need. Yesterday, it was the most incredible and amazing display of black and brown people that I saw in a long time. They came and showed a great deal of admiration, love, and respect. I'm talking about the people. I got to even call them out. Wally, my guy Wally. I hadn't seen Wally since me and Gangster had caught the Fed case and went in. I had Wally Dog. Hey, shout out to Wally. Matter of fact, Miss Sneed used to call him Wally Dog. Man, and I definitely got to take my hat off to Rude Dog, the Arizona Majestic. He took his time out to introduce me to every last one of the Arizona Majestic. Rude Dog and my little brother BK got a real, real close night. Mitch, they real close. They talk all the time. So shout out to them. Walter and Walter's son. And Compton Majestics, of course. The AV Majestics was in the house. And the individuals. And then here comes Tweet, the professional, dipping up in that 57. And I can't forget my guy Dirt Diggler, aka what is it? Compton Dago. We had Cross. Mr. Cross was in the house, definitely. Honcho, K-Mon, Ronnie Elam, Zero. I'm seeing all these guys as superstars. All these guys as heroes in the community. They all, everybody know the names when you hear them. DJ Vegas was right there. Marcellus, Squeaky Lance, Droopy, Big Herb. Then the governor showed up. Man, I even missed the governor himself, Daryl Ransom from that Hoover, from them Hoover 107, the general from the 107. Let's see. Who else was there? Larry from Larry Mufflers. And plenty of Santanas, of course. And then Quan. Funny thing about Quan, right? We in the service, right? Quan just had knee surgery. This the homie Quan from Quick Kitchen. He just had knee surgery, a whole knee replacement. He trying to walk in there on a cane when he should have been in that chair. He got in there and literally just almost fell on the floor. We had to grab it, pick it up, put him in. But that's just how much pride and strength and love these guys. This guy was literally just fresh out the hospital and managed to 10 Beepers home going. That's big up right there. So we got Quan, we had Kitchen Mo with a knives, forks, and spoon. He say in the kitchen. In the kitchen. We also had Lunatic from the kitchen. And man, then Atlantic Drives, they showed up. Man, how big was that? I'm telling you, man, we old cats, we ain't got no problems with one another. We get along just fine. We are perfect in our world. We are perfect if there's such thing as a perfect. But we working on us, definitely. Bodacious, Johnny Bubs, Fred, Bubba, Martin, Scruncho. Man, it's just everybody, man. But I gotta take my hat off to Pastor Owens. Pastor Owens eulogized that thing. He did such an amazing job, man. And then he said, he got to a point where he said, when Gangsta had spoke, and Gangsta was so profound in his speaking, he said there was nothing else to add to. We're gonna lock the door right there. We locked the door right there. And Pastor Shep was there as well. And it was just incredible. I'm talking about the way that pastor eulogized that, right? And by the way, Pastor Owens is Vincent Owens from Westside Peru, older brother. I believe he's the older brother. Actually, he retired the shares or quit the shares, whatever he did, to become a full-time pastor. So shout out to Owens. And he's definitely about his community. He's right there working with Gangsta and other community activists and reps and stuff that represent that city in the right way. He's right there for them. So I want to say this. In the depths of sorrow, a heart torn apart, losing a son is pain that never departs. He ain't gonna never did, but the memories echo like whispers in the wind. A love so profound, impossible to rescind. A love unbroken, but timeless and pure. That's what I felt right there. That's what I felt for my homie, because let me tell you something. There were so many people there showing love that it was just, I believe only Gangsta can bring both the groups of people. I'm not gonna say he the only one, but the way it happened, like both, you got black and brown people in there coming together like Autobots and friends and family and Majestics and Santanas and all these stuff, people pulling together to make sure this brother, had that support. If he get the feeling weary, we right there. If he get the feeling alone, we right there. If he gets the feeling any type of way, if he got to share the tear, whatever he got to do, break down, we are right there for him. And that in itself meant everything. That meant everything to him and his wife, him and his queen. I saw it in their face. I saw it in their eyes. They loved that, And just to share a little bit with you guys, I want to share a little bit with you guys. Hold on. Let me go to. I just want to show you some of the. This is a picture. Myself and G and my homie Raw Dog. Okay. That's Raw Dog to the left. That's G in the middle. Of course, that's me. The iconic picture right there. That's an iconic picture. And then on this picture right here, we got, we got Larry, myself, and Tweet, Mr. King of Chevys himself, dipping through in the 57. And on this scene, man, we got we got Green. We got Gregory Cross. We got Marcellus. We got Bodacious and myself once again. I'm in every picture, right? And then in this picture right here, we got, let's see, we got Green, Big Herb, Gangsta, one of the individual brothers, DJ Vegas, and my guy, Ronnie Elam, man. So these are just some of the guys that just came out to show their support, which I'm telling you, it was incredible. You had to be there to understand everything that I'm saying at this point. And, you know, it always makes me go back and reflect on even some of the stories and some of the times and things myself and Gangsta shared that sometimes, you know, because I know people think that just because we had a back and forth like that meant something to some of these other people, but to me and him, we gonna love on each other. We ain't gonna, we may have a disagreement, but that's nothing compared to, because you can't erase a history of good with a bad moment. You can't. I don't care who it is. You cannot erase a history of good with a bad moment. Case in point, when I first came home in the 90s, and I was trying to figure myself out, figure out what I was gonna do. I went and got that job, got my car and everything, was doing okay. Pulled up on G. Matter of fact, I was going because they was finna go to the Super Show. This was like the middle 90s. And they going to the Super Show. And G turns to me and say, "Hey, Mel, you want to go?" I said, "Nah, I'm just going to stay around." He said, "Well, look it, man, if you're going to stay here, you might as well get some money." This is our G always thinking. You might as well get some money, right? So I'm like, yeah. So he just, man, he shot me one. Bam. I worked that. Man, by the time they got back, I had worked that one all the way up to nine zones, brother. 9 zones, right? Worked it all the way up. So now I'm on my way. But I'm telling you this to say this, is that I didn't ask him for it. He didn't ask, did I want it? He just, out of the blue, he just said, "Hey, Mel," he just came up with the idea. And some, you got people like that just, you know, see things and see that maybe I needed something more in my life than what I was having. And maybe he wanted me to be more up there where he was at versus where I was at. You know what I mean? He wasn't like just closed off to that idea, and he looked out. And that whole weekend, from that Friday, that Saturday, that Sunday to whenever they came back, I think it was Monday, I was hustling. Came up. Then I turned around, because we had Dogface, we had Doc. Doc was always in the backyard painting cars. Dogface was always in the backyard taking cars apart, putting parts on, doing that. A lot of those cars that you see that Gangsta had, he built them in the backyard. It's clean and it's immaculate, and some of the best lowriders you would ever see was built in the backyard. Didn't go to those shops, because he had 2 guys that was immaculate and way above even shop status. I mean, Doc was so great at what he was doing. The Japanese wanted to pay him to come to Japan so he could teach them, but Doc refused, because Doc knew what they were up to. He knew if he went over there and taught him how he did what he did, then they wouldn't need him no more. So he refused it. But anyway, so Gangsta had, let's see, he had 3 4s, a Trey, the 67, the pink truck, the 59, and the Grand Prix. And then he built an Elko, right? So at this time, I'm still getting myself together. So I looked around. I said, "Hey, G, let me buy that Elko from you, right?" He looked. He said, "Yeah." No, he asked me, "Did I want to buy an Elko? Or anybody want to?" I said, "Yeah, I want to buy it. Let me buy it." So the Elko was already fitted with everything. I'm talking about beat, Gaylord top, Billix, Nardi, everything. Just everything was already had a cold paint on it by Doc himself. Okay. Man, well, Doc did another guy painted it, actually named T, but Doc came and finished it for me, right? And put it proper, put that shine on it, put that super gloss on it. But anyway, so I can't even remember what G told me how much he wanted for it. But what I'm gonna say this, that I gave him maybe 5 or 6 thousand. I'm talking about this is a totally put together. I'm talking about the Dayton's, the deep ones in the back and the shallow in the front, the engine, the mass flow masters, the shift kit, the engine. I'm talking of everything, top to bottom. It was ready. There was nothing else to do to this car, right? He gave it to me for 5,000. Then I gave it maybe another grand. And then when I tried to give him some more money, he told me, nah. He said, I'm gonna bring you the pink slip tomorrow. And he gave me the pink slip. And he didn't want no more money. So I had to go back in my mind and think about stuff like that. I can't negate, like I said, I can't negate a history of good with a bad moment. Because if I do that, then I'm faulty. I'm at fault. So man, it just when he lost his son, right? I called him that morning. Well, I talked to Twin, I talked to Gertz, I talked to Big Bus, and I called Gangsta. Man, we sat on the phone and we cried because I knew the kid before he was even born, when he was in Lupe's stomach and when he was up at the Pager shop. Beeper, that's how he got the name, but Gangsta and Lupe's Pager shop, Beeper, right? So I watched this kid, right? I had gumbo at the house, and and this a lot of stuff. We can't just. And even when we caught the case, he was even calm and cool at that point because he understood that whatever I did had nothing to do with what he did and what my brother did. Everybody. So what we decided to do was plead the foreseeable. Foreseeable is like you're responsible for whatever, because it was like a 27 count indictment or whatever, or 25, 26 people on. Man, it was about 30 something counts on the indictment total. And so we all decided, okay, we'll just plead. And he took that 20. He took it. He took the 20, and I took the 12. My brother took 7. Pee Wee took a little less, but at the end of the day, we all knew what role we played in this situation, and we all just decided to go. Instead of playing games or we was homeboys. We actually talked about what we had to do. We didn't get in there and just start running from each other and get secretive and all. You seen dudes go in the feds and they get secretive. They start hiding from each. Nah, we talked about it and we all played it to foreseeable. And that's how that worked out, because we was able to communicate with one another. And that meant everything. That meant that everybody was, take responsibility to whatever their part was. And it worked out fine. I know you guys wanted to hear a story about my boy Raw Dog, right? Y'all saw Raw Dog in the picture. Let me bring Raw Dog up again. Raw Dog has been with me and Gangsta for many years, and we don't be. We was just laughing about, with Raw Dog, when we had Raw Dog go down. Remember the HQ in the Carson Mall? That's Raw Dog right there on the cane. He just had to pull a Achilles tendon. He had to have an operation on his Achilles tendon. But when they just had an HQ in the Carson Mall, and shout out to DJ Vegas, by the way. Get your vibes right. Back then, you can go in the HQ and purchase, man, AKs or whatever. They wasn't as, because it was the 80s and the drug game. It was going, but it hadn't got to the plateau of where it was just out of control and there was no end to it. You didn't see where it was going. So we went up there, got him, and Dog and Kizzy was laughing about it because it was so easy to do it back then, but nowadays you can't do that. And we was just talking about the time we were sitting, me and Raw Dog, we sitting in I think it was Big D's Market at that time, on Lawrence Boulevard in Murr. I think it was called Big D's. And everybody used to come to the skate ring sitting up there. Man, we sitting in Raw Dog's Regal, leaning back, and we see Gangsta and Twin coming through. When I see Gangsta Twin, I knew, oh man, something really go down. Man, they snatched this fool up out his car, and right there in front of us, man, they got the dump. Just, just one of those moments. But we had their back, no matter what. We had their back. Simple as that. Um, yeah, so it's been so many different times and moments with each one of these individuals, whether it was Twin, Raw Dog, Gangster, me and Twin, Gangster, Turtle. We spent time together. We did things together. We hustled together. We got down together. We did a lot of different stuff, in this life we call whatever we call it, gang banging or whatever. Now we much beyond that. Gangster now is starting this foundation, man. I'm saying you guys support that foundation. It's gonna be in his son's name. It's gonna be Frederick James Jr. against fentanyl. He's gonna start a foundation, and he told me this morning. I talked with him this morning. He did the what is it called? It's the news, not the news, but the lawyers, where you go do the lawyers, something.com. I forget the name of it. Anyway, he went and did the paperwork. And he's gonna finalize everything, and we're gonna get everything. Players from Roll Street, baby Gangsta. Shout out to Keeper, yeah. Arkansas police cases. Yeah, you got an interesting name there, fella. Yeah, but anyway, Big D's Ranch Market. Yeah, that was Big D Ranch Market. Yeah, you remember, John? You remember it should go down up there. It should go down. Everybody from the skating ring and stuff. Skating ring, partner. Yeah, but I had to remember some things. Get them likes up. King Mike Marks is in the money, y'all. Come to rest in peace, be sure rest and well. So what's going on? Anybody got any questions? Rest in peace, Doc, as well. No, Doc was a monster, man. I seen Doc, right? I seen Doc have a little joint, put it one side of mine, have a razor blade, put the other. And he had this little fine, little skinny tape, right? And he used to make this noise when he be doing his pattern. Like he was spraying it when he was putting the tape on. And I just sat there for about an hour just watching him do this, right? And he did one side. And then he pulled out the airbrush, did that, peeled it off. And he looked at it. I went around there and looked at it. Damn, it looked good. Man, that man went to the other side, didn't measure nothing. He just put a piece of tape here, a piece of tape there, and he did the same thing. With the tape, right? Got the airbrush, peeled it off, boom. I'm looking. I went to the other side, looked again, came back this side, looked again. So I'm looking for some imperfections. I'm looking for something to be not matching or off pattern or something. Couldn't find it. The man was just that good. That's why people used to literally be trying to kidnap Doctor for him to come to their house to do their patterns. That's just how serious this stuff was. It was serious, man. Fake cars is serious. Now you got guys charging over 30, 20, 25,000 to paint your car, which I think is ridiculous. And that's a lot of money for some paint. And then for somebody to hit your car, and you don't put $30,000 worth of paint, but I guess you get that specialty insurance, and I guess that works out for everything. And yeah, man, that makes everything okay. I imagine looking for something. Well, yeah, I guess that makes it all okay, because that's unimaginable right there. Unimaginable. Just can't, I don't know. I can't imagine paying $30,000 for some paint. That's just incredible. How do you do that? There's so many things I could do with 30,000. There's so many things I could do with 30,000 that that just wouldn't come together. I seem to misplace something. Okay, located it. Thought I can't lose that. But anyway, yeah. So going back to Gangster and Wally Dog, when I talked to Wally Dog, right? Wally was telling me that he had all these old pictures and everything of us from back in the day when we used to be going to the show. Because we, on every Sunday, right, we would leave from off the gutter. We call it the gutter. And we would go up the gutter all the way along Beach Boulevard. It'd be about anywhere from 20 to 30 lowriders. We do the lowrider block. Everybody come on out. Come on, hit the Long Beach Boulevard, go up to Long Beach, hit the 105 and go on up to the shop. We used to do that. That was like a ritual for us for a good while until the feds spoiled it. But that was one year, right? I think it was 2001, right before we had to go, before we went in, because they got us 6 days before 9/11. 6 days before 9/11. And that 2001 New Year, well, it was 2000, and then it turned into 2001 New Year's Day. Gangster won, king of the show. He went out there, banged that yellow foe. He banged the yellow foe, which he called a banana, and then he banged the blue foe. Banged them both, man. That man banged that car so hard, man, he knocked the whole bumper off of it. It was just, I just remember that stuff. And that's when Cali Swinging and Young Hall was out there with they film equipment capturing everything and capturing every moment. I'm sure Cali Swinging got some good footage from way back in the 90s, all the way from the 90s, from Terminal Island and all that stuff. And when we used to go to the Gardenia Transit Center over there off of Artesia, what is it, Artesia and Redondo, Western and what was that? Western and Imperial. We used to be up there. And then when we used to go down to Manchester and Western. So it was quite a few places before, Florence and Maine was way back in the day. So yeah, Gangsta been around a long time, and I was proud to see all the different lowrider guys that came out, the original guys that he been lowriding with for years, whether they was individuals, professionals, or Majestics, or whatever car club they might have been from. They still came and showed they loved. Watch Life cars, they were there. So yeah, it was just, I forgot I saw Big Tiata there too. Big Tiata was there. Saw Tiata. Let's see, who else did I see? There was so many people, man. This is incredible. Then the homegirls, a bunch of the homegirls did some cooking, and Gangsta and them had plenty of food. Plenty of food. Cake was nice. The release of the Dubs was nice. Shout out to Michelle. How you doing, Michelle? And Marlena. I see you, Marlena. You seen that new timeout they got in there? You can put a person on timeout for 24 hours if you want to. I just saw that. The day was good, and yourself, Yeshua. Yeshua is always good. He a young man. He ain't got no problems. I'm sure he don't. Too young to have any problems. But again, in the depths of the sorrow, the heart torn apart, losing the son, that's a painful thing, man. And I know most of us, we don't all lost somebody, but we don't expect to bury our kids. We expect our kids to put us away. That just don't, this don't set well, And I'm gonna continue to call him and encourage him because I know this is gonna be difficult. This is gonna be difficult because there's gonna be moments and times of different. And just like when he was talking about, he talked about this in the chapel when Gangsta like to pay his bills like 2 or 3 days ahead of time, but Beeper and Gangsta talk, Beeper like to pay it like on that day. So Gangsta would call him, and then Beeper would ask him, "Why you tripping?" And so no, it don't work like that. We paying today, not to do on that day, But it was a funny moment. He got a laugh out of that. But again, Pastor Owens, shout out to him for eulogizing. Shout out to the sister that did the song, sister that read the poem. I had a poem also in the obituary, and all the pallbearers and everybody that just came out and showed support and love. And I mean, like I tell you, Rude Dog from the Arizona Majestics, he made sure I got introduced to everybody from his chapter. I've been knowing Rude Dog, of course, from other picnics and many way back. So, and then him and my brother are very, very close. So yeah, but still, it's just, man, you always see things one way, but then when it actually unfolds in front of your face, you be like, wow, wow. So people wanted to hear about my homie Raw Dog, right? Raw Dog Reg, it's that Reg. When you go back and look at that 1984 documentary, and the dude would say, "What's your name?" He gonna say Reg. That's him. You go back and look at that video. That's him. That's Raw Dog. So very gifted with his hands. Like, man, they was calling him Tyson, man, because the man punch hard. I'm talking about hard. It was a moment I got into it with this dude, right? And they wanted to get out with me, but he got back by 5 dudes, right? So it's me, Raw Dog, and my homie Red. So the dude pushed up on me. He said, "Man, why you want to mess with blood? Why blood was dusted?" This is what he say to me, right? All I did was hit him up, like, "Where you from?" And and blah, blah, blah. Back then, that's what we did, right? Nothing out of pocket there. It ain't like I jumped on him or anything, because that when we ran into him, it was just me and those 3, and it was just him. We let him go. I call that was a pass. He didn't like the pass, so he came back by 4 or 5 dudes. We ran into him on Long Beach Boulevard in Rosecrans. I would tell you the name, but it don't make no difference to tell his name, because he no longer wanted over there. He went bad anyway, and they kind of kicked him out from over there. But anyway, Frank Van, what's good, man? One love, brother. One love. So when he get out, he asked, "Man, why you would mess with blood? What blood was dusted?" So they trying to size the situation up. So my homeboy Reg said, "Man, Mel, man, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I ain't got nothing to do." Reg went crazy. He said, "Man, whatever y'all want to do, let's do it right now." And Reg because he always been on hub, always been a big dude and ready, man. I seen him knock 2 dudes out at the same time. Bop, bop, bop. Just 2 moves, and both was out flat. They both was like fishing out. That's just how good he was with his hands. Hit very hard. But shout out to Compton Girl. Hi, Compton Girl. Fake Man, how you been, man? I ain't seen you in a while. You been okay? Yeah, sure. Yeah, so, man, that's just a quick story about Raw Dog. But after all this stuff is about Gangsta. So we'll tell some more Raw Dog stories later on. But since he was in the picture, I had to include him on something. Right, but shout out to my homeboy Bitter Dog Bruno. Shout out to my boy Big T. Shout out to homie Jank. He was there. Shout out to even the young Santanas. Right, they went up and spoke, and Gangsta was like, he was moved by that. And one of the little essay homies, he kept apologizing, but he didn't have to apologize. He just he felt like he was making a mistake, but actually he was doing a good job saying how he felt about losing his homie Beeper. And they lined up. You know how the pastors tell you each speaker get like 2 minutes. People always take more than 2 minutes, but yeah, we got through that. Daryl Ransom got up from Hoover 107. He spoke. Let's see, and that was about it, man. It just, once we wrapped that all up, they went out to the grave sites, released the doves. Everybody got in their cars and we went over to Bateman Hall. I remember back in the day with me, Turtle, Gangsta, Twins, we always used to go to Bateman Hall because they was always having dances at Bateman Hall. We would always, that was like one of the Bateman Hall, the canteen, and the hut and the workshop. Them four spots was like our go-to back in the day. But I think the workshop probably was not the worst one, but probably like the coolest one to me. Workshop used to be hopping right there on what is it, 90 something in Western, over there by the 9-0s. That thing used to be working. It was named the car wash first, then they changed it to the workshop. It's no longer there, but back in the day, it was like the place to go to. You got to teach on the reality of spiritual, and Jesus ain't the one. How Jesus ain't the one. No, Jesus is not the one. Bro, we could get on that a little bit. I'll tell you, because, and I'm going to keep it in perspective. And the reason why, because I got a lot of homeboys that believe in that, and I can't go against them. Although I have my own set of beliefs, but when I'm talking about them and that's what they believe in, then I'm gonna keep it right there. I ain't gonna get into the politics of Jesus or try to make people understand some ideology that maybe I understand and they haven't quite arrived. So I'm not gonna go there with that. But I appreciate it. What's good? Let's see what we got in the car. Hey, copy girl, Melly Mill. What's the name of that burger stand across from the Bank of America in the 80s? Lowriders used to be. And I don't remember the burger. I know the burger stand, but I don't remember the name of it right there. But it was right there by Bank of America. Right, you're right. It's a little shopping center now. They told the burger stand now. Meet up there in the park. Yeah, I remember that well. I just don't remember the name of that burger stand. I've been good, loved one. Cool, man. Cool, Frank. That's good, man. Hope everything is going well in your life and everything is coming out like you totally expected to. Because coming home from these long fed joints sometime, it take a little time to get it started. It take a little time to build everything and get it quite like you like it. But at least it's legal. And you don't have to look over your shoulder or wonder about what the folks is doing, because you're doing something positive and you're going to stay on a positive note because we ain't got no more in us, homie. Oh man, so sad. Get those likes up, y'all. I remember that old school dance. Yeah. Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing, Melly Man. Right on, bro. Right on, JS. Doubles? OJ Melly Man, much love and respect. You and my love and condolence to G, gangster, for his young blood. Yeah, man. Gaining his wings. Yeah, man. Tapping in from B-Mo. Shout out to B-Mo. B-Mo, careful. I've been blessed, man. Yeah, right on, Frank. Man, we are, man. I gotta get with Chico too, man, because Chico about ready to drop that movie, Gitmo. So I gotta get with Chico too, man. That's gonna be huge. That's gonna be huge for the city, though. We got a lot of cats in the city now that's doing things that came from the life we came from. That's now seeing that it takes that same energy that they had for the streets and put it in something positive. Same energy, and it works just fine. Any more questions? I believe Beeper was 26. I think he was born in 97. So yeah, 97. That's how 7. Yeah, 17. Yeah, that would make him 26. No doubt. That would make him 26. So young. So yeah, gangsters gonna put together that foundation, and put Beeper's name to it against fentanyl. Because fentanyl, let me tell you about fentanyl, right? Fentanyl is such a powerful drug. It's like 100 times more powerful than morphine, and probably 50 times more. Shout out to Big Bird. 50 times more powerful than heroin, right? All, all this propofol and this fentanyl and all these drugs like oxycontin, oxycodone, Aponas, uh, uh, what is it called? Narcos, Vicodins, Percocets, all these plants, they come from one plant. It's called the poppy plant. And it's opium. It's the opium. They extract the opium and they're able to create all these different drugs. I think the burger stand was Bravos. It could have been Bravos. It could have been Bravos. It could have been. So they make these drugs from them, but you understand that before 99, there were no such thing as a lot of these drugs that we hear now. They wasn't a lot. Now, even the promethazine was being made from there as well. It's opium. So with that being said, I don't know how high you going to get, and to be messing around. You hear all these stuff, and I mean but here's the thing: it's not that they even aware that the fentanyl is in it, because what you got these people doing, they making fake pills and they putting fentanyl in it, and you might think it's a Percocet, but it's a fentanyl pill. You might even the marijuana. You got to be careful with that. They have closed down dispensaries because of they was putting fentanyl in the weed. So you thinking you got a marijuana addiction, but actually you got an opium addiction. You just you're unaware of it. You don't know why you doing what you're doing. You might be scratching or itching or nodding or whatever. You don't realize that that's the opium that's in the marijuana, or that's the opium in the Percocet and all this different stuff. This is why people are dying. That's why the police officers now are riding around with the Narcan, because if they can get to you in time, and they can hit you with a bam and it'll wake you up. I bought some candy from the young ladies the other night. I didn't even eat it because they saying drugs are added in some of the candies, and you might not even know until you eat it. That's true. That's true, Copy Girl. So nothing open, nothing. You can't buy anything from people. Don't buy nothing from people on the streets. I'm sorry. Just don't do it. Don't. If you can't go get your medication from us, because here's the thing: they got street fentanyl and they got pharmaceutical fentanyl. They can administer fentanyl in the hospital, and that won't kill you. But that street fentanyl, it's gonna take you out. We used ecstasy back in the day. Now they would probably be laced with fentanyl. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Say no to all drugs. Yeah, but now they're gonna start charging these people. If somebody give you a fentanyl pill and they can prove that you did it, that's a murder. My nephew, 2 years ago, earned his master's degree, was working at Intel, had an upper level job at Intel, doing really great. Finished his master's program, hanging out with his chick. She, has some stuff, and he in his mind, he thought he was just hitting some powder, some cocaine or whatever. But it turned out to be laced with fentanyl, and it took my nephew life. My family was devastated by that. So I know what G is going through, devastated, man. My sister-in-law still ain't over, but I'm telling you, man, it took her months and months and months and months to get back to where she could even just, go out and face people or go to work and any of that. Yeah. They see the California flower as a poppy flower, iconic. Let's see what we got. Yeah, they got Narcan in the post. Yeah, yeah, office just in case. Yeah, because you know the postal workers, they be some of the biggest drug addicts there is. A lot of postal people that work for post office. That's why the post office has always had a program to where they, you know, they wouldn't fire their people. They just send them to rehabilitation. Yeah, rehabilitation. So I could see that being true, Marlene. You know, not saying that everybody that in the post office be getting high, but it's just like that down when I be going down to the longshoremen, all those guys down there, they make so much money. A lot of them are drug users and they drink a lot. Bang that like button. Mike Marks, your name is green now. I don't know what that means. I think it means money though. I'm looking at it. I guess that's because you, man. If you guys want to join, please join. Give a donation or something. If you guys like the content, it'd be greatly appreciated. Got the Cash App up, and now you can also hit the dollar sign on in there, or you can just join the channel, you know, and be a permanent. Just be a permanent postmaster. Be part of the Postmaster General Marlena's crew. I'm calling it your crew, Marlena. You could be a mailroom goon, or be just part of the mailroom nation. They're different, like 4 or 5 different levels in there, depending on what you want. They're different packages. Now then, no, Professor, it's for the workers when they come to contact with a package. Oh, yeah, that makes sense too. That makes sense. Marlena, Michelle says she don't see how to join. Can you see the join button? People lace packages. Yeah, that's true. Wednesday. So what you guys think about all that? You know, knowing that we have this dangerous drug floating around in our community, and it's coming by the way of China, because China is the one that produced it. China is literally starving to death over there, so they're willing to do anything at this point. Mexico, and then in Mexico, you know how they get out. They they trying to make money. They don't have the type of living that we have here. There's some people over there that live really good in Mexico because they're part of the drug trade. They're part of the mafias over there, whatever, you know, the cartel rather. Let's see. Let's track. Just oh yeah, yeah, sure. No, I don't see a join, but it should be there. Oh yes, Michelle. Top of the cash sign. It has a feature to join. Yes, they are demons. They are demons. They are demons. How you feel as black people were making fentanyl? It would be a war on man. It would man. If black people was making fentanyl, bro, you already know what it would be. 2.0 wouldn't even be it, man. It'll be 100.0. But you know, a lot. Most of the people that's getting caught up with it is you see they just caught the sheriff over in Riverside. They caught the sheriff in Riverside with a whole bunch of fentanyl. The main ingredients come from China. Yeah, they do. Did you guys see that? They just busted a sheriff with a bunch of fentanyl. I'm for the war against fentanyl, definitely. Well, Gangsta finna start a foundation, so we all finna be, we all going to tap into it. He got caught with 100 pounds? The sheriff? 100 pounds of fentanyl. Imagine that. So it ain't no big secret. I think the police and the sheriff department, a lot of these agency guys been dealing drugs forever. Oh, gee, what's up? What's up? Great lead. GR8 lead. Well, you can make great content. OG interview, Chester Block, Midtown, SBC, lock it if you can. Right. I talked about the Chesters, man, before. Yeah, Lee, Lehman, Chin. I talked about them before. Yeah, with the $5 million bill. Oh, he got a $5 million bill? Woo! That's up there. They called him out of pocket. But imagine that. Here's a man that took the oath to serve and protect, right? And you catch him with a bunch of fentanyl. Oh, you got to exit out of the lie, and then you'll see it. Okay, Marlena, thank you. Okay, Michelle, thank you. Yeah, so imagine that, though. That's heavy, bro. For the police to get caught with 100 pounds of fentanyl, and they don't hit him with a $5 million, that means they real mad at him. Because he don't make them all look bad. Because I'm in the firm belief that I hear them say there's good cops and there's bad cops, but until the good cops become anti-bad cop, I'm gonna keep them all bad until proven different otherwise. That's just my take on it. That's just my take on it. Facts. Look at the Fast and Furious scandal. The U.S. government's been in bed with the cartels in China on most of America's debt. America, man, let me tell you something about America. America, man, they play chess. China and all them other people play checkers. China is over 21% in unemployment. Reason why China is dying, bro. And the reason why they're dying because they don't have enough young people to take care of the old people. Remember when China wasn't allowing but one baby per family and all that stuff? That's now caught up to them. So now they got a country full of old people with not enough young people to support the economy of the system that they're running over. So now, because now all these old people are too old to work. So who's going to take care of them people? You understand? Because they don't have enough young people. And the young people now can't find jobs. So go listen to Peter Zahn. There's a guy named Peter Zahn on YouTube. He can break down that whole China thing for you. You'll be surprised what you hear about China. China is in bad shape, bro. Bad shape. Oh, they said he was connected with the cartel. I could believe that. You know, when I be coming from San Diego, right? San Diego, Chula Vista, Oceanside, Carlsbad. So I had to pass through they got the little immigration thing right there with the scale out there, Rainbow, right? And I be seeing these guys in these white and green trucks, right? And they'll come out of nowhere and I don't know how they be knowing certain cars or whatever, and they be pulling them over, man. They be having people thrown out on the side of the road. They have them out there with their socks off. They have them sitting on the ground, and they be pulling their doors and everything off their car, going to these cars, and man, they be coming up with some stuff. I'm gonna put a D in there, take all the real opium and keep it for the big pharma and sell it to the Syntec to the people of color, all synthetic to the people of color, because it's a 2-for-1, either death or addiction, incarceration or death. Yeah, you're right, Corey. You are so right about that. It's all a game. It's all a game. Yeah, USA cannot be attacked military wise. You're right. You're right. Yes, you are absolutely correct with that. Because one thing about, and I'm gonna give it to you like this, JS. The United States has been in war since we've been born, bro. Every year they're fighting. A country like China don't go to war. So if they got into a war, how would they even know what to do? Because war, even like if you expect to be good at something, you have to practice it. You have to be engaged in it. You can practice football all day long, but till you go out there and play them games, you don't really know how good your team is, right? Same thing with war. Until you go out there and engage in war, you really don't know how good your army is. The United States and the Israelites and the country of Israel are always at war. They're always. So they have the two best powerful pound standing armies in the world because they always fight. They know what it takes to move a large mass amount of artillery. They know how to move naval ships. They know how to move the airplanes, and they know how to move the man. They know how to do that. And the United States got some weapons that nobody even know about. They just say, they keep them tough, just in case, just in case. Real talk. Peace to everybody in the mail room. Shout out to you, bro. Very factual, Professor. Very factual. Thank you, Marlena. Thank you. Well, we've been up in here just about an hour, so weapons of destruction. You're right, Joshua. You don't know. Tell me, man. It's the only place in the world where these people are calling white man is in the United States. Everybody else called the British or the Germans or the Russians. And only one place they call him white man, and that's right here in the United States. So that makes him the biggest player in the game. He don't care. China has the world's largest standing military. It is the largest manufacturing economy, explorer of goods. Not anymore, bro. It's dying. Did you hear what I just said? Don't listen to Peter Zahn, man. They got some globalists, ex-globals, geoglobals, and populars, and people that does all the numbers and crunch the science and do all that. It's already on some, like I told you, China is dying. China population is way too old. They don't have enough young people to sustain the old people. Just think about when China wouldn't allow families to have more than one child. So now they have way more entire old people who can't work, who can't do anything, and they don't have enough young people to care for those people or take care of the country. So the economy is 21% in unemployment. United States had put chokeholds on them too, secretly. None of that stuff mattered, Davo. None of it mattered when it comes to military, when it comes to war. None of it matters. If it did, the United States wouldn't even do it. The United States play chess. I tell you, bro, they play chess. Them people were playing checkers. United States own practically all that's why you think China's so worried about Taiwan is because the little chips that they make for putting in missiles and put them in different systems. China don't make them chips. So they worried about that. Africa is the youngest continent. You just watched the doc on it today? Yeah, see. Like I say, man, anybody go watch Peter Zion. I think it's Petteraina, Zion, something like that. Go watch it. Peter Zion. And man, he'll break it down pretty good for you. But anyway, once again, I'm Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. Be sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. So when the dope content hit, it'll feel like the first of the 15th. Welcome to the mailroom where you come in and take a look at your mind and see what's in your heart. This is not a glamorization, not a glorification. It's always an education. Get on the bus and let me take you to school. Before they had handguns, they had fair ones. Man up. Marlena Williams, go ahead and take us up out of here. We got to go, Marlena. It's been a good day, and it's been a while. We'll catch back up on the lives. Just there's so many different things. Sometimes life is happening, and we gotta go attend to our loved ones and make sure they okay. But nonetheless, we will get back to what we do. Until then.
Proof of grind all the time, baby.
Yeah. Cali Finest, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Hub City. I'm a street nigga. Streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the fans get me. It's guap off top. Diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing. They see me shining. That's hard work. Proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. I leave bad man and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me. That's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking. And I don't talk about it, I just make it happen. Word on the block is that my shit go. Freaks for the low.
Marlena Williams, go ahead and lock the door because we are gone. Matter of fact, shout out to D, Mr. D, Michelle, Yeshua. Shout out to King Mike, Dabo. Shout out to Yeshua, Rathun, I can't pronounce that. Kepper, I believe. Okay, Frederick, sorry. And everybody that joined us today, I appreciate all you guys, man. You guys are superstars. Always remember, shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll be amongst the stars. With that being said, go ahead and lock the door, because we are gone.